to New Canada, just outside Soweto, where there's no end in sight of the Putco drivers' unprotected strike. Those are the live visuals coming to you right now as public order police seem to have arrived a short while ago to try and open that road and remove the blockage that the workers had set up earlier at the main entrance, preventing management and other workers from leaving their work at 4 o'clock. Now, the workers have been issued with letters of dismissal by the employer. At least 1,000 Putco employees are facing being fired after they embarked on a wildcat strike last week, demanding a 6% wage increase. The strike has left commuters stranded and forced them to make alternative travel arrangements. My colleague Nqobile Madlala is on the ground. I hope she can hear me. Nqobile, are you there? We are seeing those live visuals. It looks like there's a bigger contingent of police who've arrived there to open up that road and disperse the workers who were there earlier, the drivers, some of whom you interviewed. What's the latest?
Well, Pradan, we've already seen the police shots were fired earlier on. We saw also a scuffle between the police and some of the Putco drivers. They're saying that they're not going to let management leave. We know that management is still inside, as you can see there on your screen, Pradan. That's management that is locked inside. You can see there, Pradan, one of them is the gentleman that they blocked when he was trying to leave, trying to drive out. And also what you're seeing there, Pradan, is security guard of the facility that has been here. You can see now they are armed. They seem to be ready. The public police officers have also been trying to calm the situation. We saw them shooting, but it seems like the drivers are not leaving. They're not yielding to any of those signs that the police officers have put forward, saying that they must leave, they must let people out. Let's try and get them to speak to us, Pradan, so we can see what is really happening. Baba sendinwe kakhulu kwenze njani?
Sisi, amapolice amayekuthatha i-chance because bafonelwa ngabantu abamhlophe. Mabayekuthi because ibamnyama bathatha i-advantage. Apha sivimba igate ye-management yethu sithi abasebenza ePutco. Ayingamapolice asebenza ePutco. Asivalanga ndlela, asivalanga nto, sivala igate. But if uba ne-problem, let's go with it.
Manje amaphoyisa ngibone ngazuthi niyadonsisana nawo.
Sidonsisana because abafuni ususa egate yePutco. Sisebenzela iPutco. Asebenzele nyito, asebenzela iPutco apha egate. Asizusuka.
Manje ngisasa mina nesibamba.
Sisi kuzawugcina thina amaphoyisa indawo yethu le. Kuzawugcina thina ngeke nisukele e-Eastern Cape ngizodlala apha. Ngoba sizawulala apha sisi. Andifuna ukuqhatha. Ngisuka e-Eastern Cape ngizosokola la eGauteng. Ngizosokoza sibhaza kwaPutco. Kuba nandifumana enye ikhampani ngesendi-rich ngoku. Asindawo apha sisi bona mabadubule benzela into yasemarikana nditsho. Mabadubule sisi.
Baba sibone ngazuthi kuyadonsiswana, amaphoyisa azama ukuthi nikhulumisane. Ikhona indlela yokukhulumisana?
Akasikhulumisana amaphoyisa.
Asikhashwanga amaphoyisa.
Apha imali yethu. Sihambe. Ukuthi yena wenzani ngathi sizobona uma sithini. Kodwa uba ngabe usele business asayifuna ke besowethu akho nto azoyenza sithi
ngeke iqhubeka irun ibhizinisi kaPutco la ustrayisa ikorokoro ezifa every day. Sithuka ama-passenger osisibethi obaba bethu iy'ngane zethu egibela la mabhasi yithi esithenga amathekhi sithengela iy'ngane zethu ziye ey'koleni and ebesengafuni ukusibhadara thina sivuka ekuseni kumnyama akazi kuyirun ibhizinisi yakhe la eSoweto indawo yethu le back to each other akabuyele emuva.
Manje nizokwenze njani-ke ngoba sesiyabona ukuthi bafisa ukuhamba nabo bayanisaba yini enifuna ukuthi bayele?
Bathe abelungu bafuna ukuthi bazosebenza balale ngaphakathi ekhampanini la abaphuma baqhubeke go back to work white people. Now we don't move.
Americana lanto isenzeka Americana siyayifuna sisi la.
Kuneslogan esi-1 esakaPutco sithi work and complain after. Sicomplaine kangaki since work and complain.
All right, so Pradan, as you can hear there, they're saying that they're not going to leave. They're very adamant, Pradan, to say that they are tired of what is happening. They're asking us also to leave at the moment as they are going to be discussing. We're seeing Pumlani Ndlovu, who's been their delegate. He's going to speak to some of the drivers. He has been engaging with the police officers, but now you can just see there, Pradan, the smoke just getting bigger and bigger. They've got some of the tires burning here, and it seems pretty clear that they're here to fight. If the police officers don't back down, they're saying that the people that they let in to work, then they must stay inside, work, and not go out, because they did ask that they go back to work. Let's just come here and see what the police officers are saying here. Let's just listen in a bit.
Please. Yeah, go talk to him.
So these are the police officers, Bradan. The police officers did try to calm the situation much earlier on, but you can see that there are conversations that are still ongoing with them, as well as the drivers, but they're very clear that they're not going to let them out at this point. But you remember that we spoke to Nqobile Madlala, who's the spokesperson of Putco, and he did say to us that what is happening and unfolding at this point is not legal. He said that you cannot hold people against their will. At this point, we know that the workers were supposed to leave the premises at about 4 o'clock, and they have been locked in since that time. And of course, security also just looking more armed now than before. We had seen them more relaxed, but at this point, you can see that, Bradan, the situation has changed completely. But of course, the workers now are having a meeting. They've just asked us to keep a bit of a distance so that they can have their own conversations, but they were definitely not going to listen to the police officers, which of course meant that the police officers also needed to defend themselves. So that's when we saw some of the fire, some of the shots being fired at that time.
So the standoff continues, tensions rising a little bit since we last crossed to you. The workers there, the drivers, are adamant they will not allow any of the managers or the employees who are inside the Putco depot there in New Canada to leave. The police were trying to disperse them, but they haven't succeeded.
Not at all, Bradan. You see, the issue here is that when you speak to the drivers, they're saying that this is a financial problem that they have lived with for quite some time. And so if they are going to leave, and they're saying that they're ready to leave, they're happy to leave. But what they want is that they want their 30% bonus, they want their bonuses back, and they want their increase, which is of the 2020 at this point, Bradan. So they're adamant that they're not going to leave until they receive that, but they're not trying to stay in the company. And in this point, we're even hearing that there's obviously tensions that have been ongoing with the employer for quite some time. Nqobile, he's here to speak to us. Let's listen into Ubaba. Baba, let's perhaps just uma ungasusichazele yini manje lesenikhuluma ngayo lapha ngoba sisibonile ngathi benixabana namaphoyisa.
Mama, lana siyadutshulwa la ngemali yethu esesisebenzele, asidutshulele imali esifunayo ezongena kusasa ukuthi mhlambe bewabizeke lawo mopisi ukuthi sifuna imali eningi. Le mali esesikhuluma ngayo imali esesayisebenzele. Njoba sikhuluma lapha, sikhuluma ukuthi sizolala la. Angithi abelungu bathe bazosebenza. Kulungile bazosebenza kuze kusethi solala la until umlungu azasinikeza imali yethu. Uyasitosha noma akasitoshi asenanda. Okulandelayo futhi, okulandelayo sifuna ukuyovala iriyavaya ngoba siyazi ukuthi iya benefit akuyo. Nayo simise ima yonke operation yaseSoweto.
Sicela basebenze sizobagada namhlanje kuyoza phandle asindawo. Siyabonga belungu.
Bradan, you can hear there, they're saying that they want the workers to continue working, but they're saying that their argument is that they're not just fighting for money that is supposed to be coming out of the shifts that they have not been working, but they're saying they're fighting because this is the money that is due to them since 2020. Let's try and listen into what the police are saying.
This is Pumlani. He spoke to them. They can leave.
All right, let's see. The police officers are now escorting the management out. Let's see if they are going, in fact, to leave. Police officers have been armed at this point, but they're saying that Pumlani, who is the leader, is saying that the management, the drivers have said that it's okay, they can leave. So let's see if that's going to happen. But just to remind you, Bradan, the situation escalated because management was supposed to be leaving at 4 o'clock. We know that as they now are leaving, it's the end of the shift. It seems like they have found this is the car that we saw being pushed in Bredan. It is now leaving. Well, it seems the drivers have found another way of making things work. We are seeing management now leave.
Drivers that the workers who are there can leave. I wonder who's left behind, because they were saying they want to talk to management and they are vowing to camp at this depot tonight.
Well, Bredan, I'm going to try and get the lead of the delegates to speak to us so that we can hear that. Pumlani, if we can just have a word with you. You're trying to calm the situation. Of course, it had escalated from that time. We want to know the people that you've let to go at this point. Who are the people that we're driving out?
In actual fact, it doesn't change that. It's still our management. We still respect them. We just want what we want. Yeah, we are not fighting with them, but we are just demonstrating our anger. Of course, we are showing that in future there will be more. You know, these people, they are not scared of police. They are very angry. They said they'd rather die. I told you before that these people, they say they'd rather die. They will go out of here after they get their money. That is what they are trying to demonstrate in here. So now, they want no one to provoke them, even the police. But then I see that the situation is escalating. So now I'm trying to calm the situation. Of course, I know that they will listen to me, as they chose me as their leader. So now, the situation will become, and then we'll continue with our strike.
But of course now we know that the cut-off time is 5 o'clock for those notices. What does this mean now, as they were here saying that they don't want any management to leave? Yes, they've let the managements leave after such, after a lot that had happened. What does that mean now going forward?
What they told me that this is the symbol of death. Now they are showing that after dismissal, someone must die. This is what they are saying. They say someone must die. After dismissal, someone must die. They said they can be dismissed here, but the bus they could go on the road. Then what's going to happen after? I'm just afraid of the passengers that were in the buses. So now the situation is very bad now. We want the solution. We want the solution ready.
But what are the solutions that you are putting on the table at this point?
Nothing other than money. 6%. Big pay.
But this is in courts. That's what they keep saying, that labor courts is the only one that can decide what happens. What happens on the ground?
The money talks. That's what we believe in. The money talks. Since from 2020, this case is going back and forth. So now, watch out of that. The court come with the ruling of the court on April or so. Said the company must pay the employees. The employer took it back. He appealed the ruling. He said no, it doesn't have that money. Since from 2020, this thing happening. We're expecting the money by the end of the last month, 31st of August. So now it's still no money is in our accounts. So now we're waiting for our money in our accounts. It doesn't care about the court. The court will decide what next, not us.
So does the protest then continue?
Yes, of course, that's the problem. Even tomorrow, they say they're coming with force because tomorrow there will be commuters in here.
Well, thank you very much. Pumlani Ndlovu there speaking to us. He is one of the leaders, Bredan, but they have let management leave at this point. But it seems they're regrouping for tomorrow.
Okay, at least that standoff has sort of ended with the management being allowed to leave after that intervention by Pumlani there and the police. But Nqobile will remain on the ground for us. That's our reporter Nqobile Madlala there at the Putco bus depot in New Canada, just outside Soweto. Now,